men. Talk to the ladies who are listening right now. How much discipline does it take for a female to be a marine engineer or any engineer for that matter?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to say a good afternoon to your listeners.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure to be here to
always
share my journey as a marine engineer and a seafarer. And thank you again. Working at sea is not for the faint-hearted. Shipping or working in the maritime industry is rewarding, but it also has its challenges.
Okay.
So what I would say to any young female listening to me is, first of all, you need to have the mindset that you want to be in this industry. You have to be resilient because you're going to encounter various challenges.
Right.
You have to be tough-minded, and you have to, like I said, be resilient.
Be resilient, right?
Yes, and you excel. The maritime industry, like you said, is highly male-dominated, and there is a gross gender disparity gap.
Yeah.
But women like me are showing up, and we are encouraging other people that, hey, we are in it, and it's tough, but we are excelling, and so can you. Yes, so I'll tell every young girl out there that it's not impossible to find yourself in the maritime industry or to pursue engineering. Yes, so you can do it if you put your mind to it, and others are doing it. Others like me are doing it, and so you can too.
Okay, so the passion counts as well.
Yes.
Passion about, being an engineer too as well.
Yes.
That helps you to, navigate through the course and all of that.
Yes. So the passion counts, but I would also say exposure too, because
exposure, right?
If you don't get to see many female engineers, you might not know that it is possible to be one.
Right.
Sometimes you might have an idea or a dream to become something, but if you are not getting to see many representation in the industry, you don't see yourself to becoming one. And so we need more people to, share their stories in their various industries, especially engineering. I'm doing that with marine engineering because many people don't know about women in marine engineering, and I am here to do that, to let people know that it's tough, but I'm thriving, and I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm excelling, and so you can be part as well. So I'm showing up, and others are also showing up, telling them that
definitely
it's a safe space.
Now, like I said, at the beginning of my statement, that when it comes to marine engineering, the space is dominated by men, right? But of course, what big challenges do you face on your first day when you got into the marine engineering?
Okay, so
if you can remember.
Yes. So the first time I stepped on board the ship,
right,
I was the only female in my department, the engine department. There are various departments on the ship, but within the engine department, I was the only female, and the first fear or the first emotion I felt was imposter syndrome. I wondered if I belonged in this space.
And what's that, the imposter
syndrome?
Yeah, what is that?
The feeling of not being too good enough or good enough to be in a space.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I was wondering if I qualified to be in this space, and coupled with low self-esteem and low confidence, I would say that it's because I was new and I had to learn the systems. This was a new environment for me, but gradually I overcame that, and my confidence level started coming up. And so that is one thing I experienced and on board the ship. But I overcame that, and there are mentors who are willing to mentor you and help you navigate certain emotions you might be going through in the industry. So yes, I'll say shipping is not easy for the girl child or for the female, but we are making progress.
Right.
Certain 10, 15 years ago, companies were not even recruiting females to work on ships. But because of the resilience of those before us who have, proved themselves, now there are companies that are accepting females, that are purposely recruiting for females to work on these ships. And right now, what this generation is doing is that we are making sure that we are proving ourselves so that the next generation is not seen as a liability when they go on board. Because you go on board and automatically the perception is that you are going to be given exactly. And so what's the test we have now that we are looking for it to, doing it, accomplishing it and doing it well, is that we prove ourselves, we do so much that the next generation will step on board the ship and they are seen as they are seen for their competence.
Yes.
And so that is what we are doing now. Doing well on board and excelling and inspiring others to.
And I love the word you use, resilient, from those who came before you, because they were resilient and they made the effort. And so right now, companies are recruiting, young women like you as engineers, to come on board and help move the ship. And for one, I think that's amazing. And I hope, it continues, because women have a lot to contribute when it comes to society and whatever space it is. But let me move to Aku for a minute. All right? Aku, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Nice.
I'm doing well.
I'm doing awesome. Good to have you here, because we are celebrating you today.
Thank you.
And
it's
all
really
women,
good to be here.
Of course. Now, describe yourself, as you describe yourself as a culture, architect, right? So for someone who is listening to us, a young lady listening to us right now, for the first time, what does that actually mean when you say you are a culture architect?
I think for me, it's basically just that I am a contributor, I think, in my own way to preserving and exploring what our culture is. Yes, and creating in its way a sense of pride for people, because my work over the course of my career has one way or the other shaped what the culture of this country is, and also it helps with acceptance. There's much more ownership of who we are and an acceptance of that, and in that it's just something that people don't think about much, but it really contributes to the development of our country, because if people increasingly accept what is Ghanaian and what is truly us, then there is not the need for foreign intrusion and making people more proud to be Ghanaian and finding or teasing out what the cool things are, because you read my bio when I came out. I have worked in advertising for a long time, and then I have also started this brand called Wolo, which is the Gang word for paper, by the way. So it started with paper goods and things like that. What this brand does is to create lifestyle products and keepsakes that uses inspiration from popular African culture. So things that are innate to us, things that are really exciting and fun to have. In those small things, you're able to find that you're retaining or accepting more of our Ghanaian culture, and it's and also my work documents and preserves the culture of the things that came before us, the things as it was, and then also in current times, what the times are, because some of my work has also explored current modern themes. I have work that explores political themes, social projects, entrepreneurial things like that, and also even environmental. So all in all, I think what my work does is to further the Ghanaian culture and preserve it more. That's that makes me very much a contributor to Ghanaian culture. So
of course,
a cultural architect. I'm building it one product or one idea at a time.
All right. Now, speaking of culture, which is very important in our society and all of that, looking at the culture that we all came to meet, and you are trying to preserve those culture. Have you seen any of those culture that needs to be developed? For instance, so it gives way for women like female. Give more opportunities for females to come into certain spaces and be able to build the society. Do you think our culture needs to be developed, or it needs to be just the way it is for us to move forward?
So not necessarily needs. Culture evolves.
Right.
no matter what culture evolves, and because what we came to meet, the people of that time, what the conditions or what the environment was, is not what today is. There's so much enlightenment that have come, and there's technology now, there's a digital age, all of that is Ghanaian culture. And when we talk about culture in Ghanaian sense, we're not only talking about our traditional culture, we're talking about the things that become our way of life now. So yes, the things that need to evolve, the harmful parts of the way of being that was not as enlightening as before, because we didn't have the information back then. We do have it now, so that part needs to evolve. And for us, because it can't just be, I remember being young and the thing that used to come on TV saying your girl child to school, there was girl child campaigns like that was like 20 years ago. But now that's not,
you can't really use,
nobody's doing that. And also we grew up with people doing hair and nails as the people that are left behind. Currently there are people like the digital Beijing and all the environment for it makes sure that no matter what your skill is, you're able to make something out of it, and it's not something to hide or something to be ashamed of. So we've grown as a people, and the parts that are not that are detrimental to our development, I feel like by and by, as the society gets more enlightened, we'll leave it behind, and only the purest parts. So but also in doing that, it's important that we don't lose who we intricately are. Because recently, even on Twitter, on my Twitter, I know it's X, but still Twitter.
Even getting used to that.
Yes.
Getting used to that.
Even on my Twitter, we have started sort of correcting Ghanaians that are adopting or co-opting language from Nigerians. Like calling, we have buffoots and everybody's calling it puff puff. We have, nkaka or light soup, and everybody's calling their soup pepper soup. So things like that. Like, people call their light soup all of a sudden pepper soup, and people are trying to bring attention back to, that we already have these things. You do not need to co-opt someone's language, because we don't think about these things, but it furthers the Nigerian or the non-Nigerian.
And then we keep losing our
own. Because if we were looking for an audience for a campaign or for something, they come to they use the language that is most widespread. And if you contribute to spreading someone else's language, then that's who the campaign is going to go to. So if you preserve and grow yours, you also have a share of the pie. So things like this, projects like this, and everything that contributes to, stoking interest in Ghanaian culture is very, very important to our nation building, and I wish a lot more people would realize that.
It's very important you mentioned that, because I noticed for a fact that yes, like you said, people are trying to bring in certain words into, and then by the time you realize you're also saying it, and then it becomes the new thing, and as you said, when brand wants to come in, it goes to them.
Anything that the world sees, when the world sees it, because we were here when Azonto has always been ours. We're here when someone did an Azonto dance, and already the globe wanted to see Azonto as big and long and some. So it's some of these small things, and it's intricately woven in so many small things. If we as Ghanaians we band together and we are very steadfast in what our culture is and very proud of it, it is very difficult for external influences to try to break that down. Because
it's very beautiful. You rose that point. The same thing with our high life music and all of that. But with over a decade of experience working on campaigns, how important is culture? You said a lot, but storytelling too as well. When brands are trying to connect with audience, when it comes to storytelling, how important is that?
Storytelling is really everything in let me say, is a connection. No, there's a word I want to use. It'll come to me later. But storytelling is what makes someone believe in the why. You can have a product or a brand that does something, and you can communicate the hard parts of this brand for as long as you want. But weaving it into a story, weaving the person's need for the product, weaving the why they need it, how it benefits them, and even how it just makes them happy, which are not tangibles that usually people are very hard sales. How does it connect? But sometimes things just exist because they just make people happy. There's an ad that maybe does not talk about anything. If you look at, there are things we call thematic ads. Thematic ads are brand ads. It talks about the essence of the entire brand, like TVCs. If you I'm trying to remember. There was one for, I think, MTN. So it's just an ad that does not really sell you anything directly. It just tells you a bunch of things, flowery things. But look at how like they just try to paint the picture of how exciting that brand is and things like that. So even with that, you will, if you drill down, you'll be able to find, the themes or the lines that connect. Yes, that connect and make you see what the brand is about. But if you're trying to find the hard sell every time in those brands, you will not find them. Yeah, but then that part, the joy part, is also very important, right? It's important that people look at things that have been created and feel joy. It is one of the pathways into the person's mind, into the person's heart, for them to, bond with that brand. So not everything can be a hard sell. So in that, with the question you asked, I do think that storytelling really weaves everything together. Right. It gives sense to why people want to gravitate towards something. It gives people a reason to believe. So it is a very important part of brand building.
Okay. So and also, if I may add, if it also like connects, they connect with what they
it connects the audience to what you're trying to say, because I can tell you that yes, there's a pen and you need to write, so buy the pen. But if I tell you that you need to express yourself to the girl that you're looking for, you need to be able to tell her. You need to be able to tell her clearly in a writing that you have beautiful writing. Your writing needs to come onto the paper in the way that you intend it exactly. Like your words need to be clear, that kind of thing. I am weaving to you a story that is dreamy, that really sounds like, something magical that you can believe in. Because at the end of the day, you're still going to buy the pen. At the end of the day, you're still going to write. But now you have an emotional attachment to the pen. And yes, it makes life a little more,
so that brings the connection right there.
It brings your connection, connection to your story. It makes it personal for you. So storytelling is really,
very important.
Yeah, very important in brand building for connection. Yes.
All right. Cool. Thank you very much. Let me get back to Esther right here. Now, Esther, I noticed you formed what they call the Sea Women Hub, right?
Yes.
The Sea Women Hub to encourage more girls to explore marine, like engineering and all of that. Give us the moment in time where you realized that was very important to create a hub for women.
Okay, thank you. Sea Women's Hub was established to create awareness about the career opportunities within the maritime industry. Okay. Now, there are various career opportunities in the maritime industry. There are roles such as, there are offshore and onshore roles. So with the offshore roles, this is where we work on the ship. There is the navigational role. Okay. There's the engineering department. If you're a nurse, you can work on the ship. If you're a caterer, you can work on the ship because we need to eat. There's maritime law. And then coming
maritime law?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to be able to solve disputes relating
between
to
ships.
Yes,
because you are now in the space of too many people and behaviors and all of that could just erupt.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And coming to the onshore, we have the port and harbour administrators, the logistics, the freight forwarders, the logistics guys, and all that. And so we are trying to expose young Ghanaian girls to opportunities within the maritime industry, to careers within the maritime industry. Let them know that, hey, there's an industry like this, and these are the various roles you can find yourself in. And Ghana's maritime industry is growing. We have evidence from the expansion of the Tema port. We have the NPS. We have the expansion of the Takoradi ports and various collaborations with the UK government in various projects. Okay. And there is a need for maritime professionals, and so we can't just train one part of the population. We need the full population. And so See Women's Hub is here to amplify that, to let people know that, especially young girls, that there is a career like this and you can excel in it, you have a place in it. And right now what we are doing is outreaches and awareness based, but gradually we are going to shift our focus to policy advocacy, to advocate for more women placement on board ships, and we advocate for women who may be encountering certain issues such as harassment and unsafe work conditions on board. But for now, we just want women to know that, okay, this is the industry, this is the pathway to get there. There's an institution like Regional Maritime University where you go and offer this course. And from there are companies to come and scout for you to work. From the people I've encountered, my friends, they just know I work on the ship. They don't know how. Some of them don't know how I got there. And this is the story of many people in Ghana. They don't even know that an institution like the Regional Maritime University exists, where you have people from various West African countries coming to school here. We have the advantage of having the school in our country.
Because we don't have the information.
Exactly. And so we are here to make it aware to the Ghanaian public that this industry is existing and we need more girls in it.
More of our girls to be part of it.
More of our girls in it. Yes.
Right. And is you know what? I think what you just said, so it's like we're educating girls who don't know about marine engineering or marine itself, sea, being on sea, and that there are a lot of spaces that you can work on, like as you said, the catering, other spaces that are available to women to come in. So it's a hub where a lot of women can get information about how the marine works.
Yes.
And the kind of opportunities that they can get from that.
Yes.
Wow, beautiful. And how do they get to connect with this hub? If there's a space, maybe it's on Instagram or social, whatever it is.
Yes. I'm a Gen Z, right?
Okay.
I am actively on social media.
Right.
And so when I established this initiative or this organization, I made sure that we are visible on our social media platform. So we are actively on TikTok, we are actively on LinkedIn, we are actively on Instagram, and we are always putting stories out there, we are putting information out there. And so we want to be in the front line that will create or will expand the pipeline of more women into the industry. When you reach out to us, you are rest assured you are going to get any information that you need. Yes, and that's what we are doing. We're on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, See Women's Hub.
See Women's Hub.
Yeah,
that's the
See
handle.
Women's Hub.
See Women's Hub.
Yes.
Okay. So See Women Hub is the place. Make sure you're part of it. If you need any information, right? Any information about the marine, you can just link up, and then you can get all those information. Of course, definitely. But also, what will you say to young Ghanaian women who are interested in engineering? Right? They are very much interested in engineering. They want to do engineering, but of course, probably from home, maybe, families or parents, friends telling them that, engineering, it's dominated by men and you don't want to go through the hustle and all of that to get through. So find a very easy route to get into. What will you say to girls like that who want to get into that space? What's the encouragement you give to them?
So, I'll answer your question, but I want to build up.
Okay, please do.
So growing up, I used to hear these stories a lot. I used to hear that a certain type of girls pursued engineering. But I still had it at the back of my mind that I was going to go into engineering, but I wasn't sure which aspect of engineering I wanted to pursue.
Okay.
And so in senior high school, I went to Malco Girls, by the way. In senior high school, Ghana Institute of Surveyors came to my school to enlighten us about the institution, and a certain young lady, very beautiful in skirts, very well dressed, mounted the podium, and she was like, she's an engineer. And before that, my imagination or my picture of how an engineer, a female engineer, was supposed to look was not her.
Like dirty and greasy and all of that.
No. There was this perception that engineering girls were so manly.
Manly, okay.
Yes.
All right. Hardened and all of that.
Exactly. This woman was a soft woman. And so it just shifted something in me. Okay, I can be an engineer. I can do engineering. So from there, it started forming. I had a mindset shift. And then I got to hear of the maritime industry, and I told my dad about it. Fortunately, he didn't oppose of the idea. But coming back to your question, I'm here and I'm hoping that parents are also listening.
Right.
There are people who have females in their families who are interested in engineering. Please and please again, we are in the 21st century. We are in an evolving world.
Yeah, definitely.
Women, research has shown that where in places where women are found, like the economy grows, like women's contribution is very essential.
Very key.
Women are doing so well
Right.
in any industry they find themselves. Please don't limit your child's dreams and aspirations to something you know. See Women's Hub is here. I'm here sharing my story so that you get to know that women like me are doing this. Something that 5-10 years ago you wouldn't even hear of any woman doing. And so be open-minded, parents, families, be open-minded and support your children,
Right.
girl children who want to go into engineering. And with the young girls who are interested in engineering related courses or maritime related courses that your families are not really in support of, I would say that don't give up. Keep researching, keep searching for people who are excelling in the industry that you want to go into. Show it to your families, continue to persuade them. Unfortunately, they are going to fund your education, and so you need to continue to persuade them and incite their interest with the things that you find online about the field you want to go into. And it's rewarding. Engineering is rewarding. The world is changing now. Women belong in every space.
Yes, of course.
Yes, and so parents, give your children the opportunity and the chance, and also open up yourself to explore and evolve.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love what she just said, man. You know, even if your parents, sometimes your parents wouldn't understand because, you know, probably, you know, they are not in that moment, and things have changed, as you said. So all it takes is for you to keep, you know, talking to them and showing them. So you have to make the effort to do research on whatever you want to do. Don't just sit back and, as a grown woman, as a grown lady, don't just sit back and wait for everything to come to you, but make sure you go out there and get the research. If you're in a space where, you know, your parents don't really understand what you want to do, it's all about education and giving them that information. So looking up to going out to see people who are in those fields, who are making it happen for themselves, and, you know, and showing it to your parents, let them know that, you know, this space is something that is worth getting into. And of course, I'm sure they will definitely approve of it. The reason why they are not, you know, approving of it is because they don't have any information.
Exactly.
And you can't blame them for that, you know. So that's where education is the key to all of that. Now, Aku, let's get back to you and talk about this wallet that you've built.
Yes.
Which is also out there to, you know, educate and if I'm not wrong, to also, you know, help, you know, people to be educated about what you do and how you can move brands and all of that, if I'm right about that.
Yeah, so I think for Wolo, it's a way to engage Ghanaians and also to re-immerse them in the parts of Ghanaian culture that they thought they knew but they didn't. For example, my current project that I am champion, I have you know, smaller project because there's a store attached to, you know, the project. So everything that comes to the store as merch started as the arts piece. So it's not really that I set out to build a store. I set out to do art, and then the art now spanned the store. So but then the biggest current project that I'm working on is the stamps collection, which is currently a grid of 25 places in Ghana. Because it's beyond Accra, it's in Ghana. It's growing. I have a new batch that will debut probably later this year. So I'm just representing places with icons. You know, the thing about history is that while our history is there and has been preserved to some extent, it also flattens narratives and peculiarities, because if you look at what the representatives or representation of Ghana is from an outside lens, it's just Independence Arch, red, yellow, green, that kind of thing. However, people need a lot more belonging. So what the project is doing is highlighting suburbs in Ghana with what makes them iconic. So for somewhere like Jamestown, we have highlighted, the boxing culture, because everybody else that does Jamestown is looking at the lighthouse and things like that, which is really fine. It's great. Not to knock anybody, but there's more to it than that, right? Also, East Legon, we know that it's very expensive to be in East Legon, so we've highlighted East Legon Spintex. We have multiple iterations with the furniture shops per 2 steps, and then also the traffic situation. So the stamps collection is really documenting what our suburbs are known for, what makes us special. And this is work that really should make it into, policy planning and social planning, society planning and things like that, because with things like, we know that there's a lot of traffic in Spintex, so much that we can count on it. So what are alternate routes? What does road repair works look like? Because then you have to repair the roads more often than not, because also the furniture shop, they're moving heavy furniture up and down the road, several times a day. So that road is in use more than any other road. So these things are not just some interesting art pieces put together. They are really social commentary about our society, and that's what my work is. My work is always social commentary, it's always things about how or what it reflects who we are or what is happening at the particular time. And that's why I think contemporary art is so important, because I know that the kind of art that's typically gets sold is the kind of art that we've seen from the 1930s and Jean Basquiat and all that kind of style of art and things like that. But there is something important for artists of this generation also to speak about, to say, and I think that we should pay more attention to it. So that's one of my projects that I'm working on. I'm very excited about it. It has received really great reviews. Everybody that come into contact with it is really excited. I'm sure your producers have pulled it up, from my Instagram and things like that. So to your question, yes, my art is reteaching people about our Ghanaian society, because I'm learning to, I didn't know. So it's what this has done really is unearthing so much of Ghana's history, or let me say, even for Accra, I didn't know she actually used to be a tomato farm. So because what's apart from the first grade that I made, I've asked people what else do they want to see on this grade, which other stamp of which suburb do they want to see. People have contributed it. That's also a way to further this project, not because I can't do the I can't sit at home and brainstorm, but also I want public participation, and because then people have more ownership and they have more pride in seeing their places and represented accurately, which is very important to me.
Very important,
because people have given me, you should use this icon for this place. This is a piece of history that makes this place, this and that. It's fine, but after all of that has been said, I have to take all of that information, sit back, look at different sources, multiple sources, to make sure that that story actually runs through all accounts of those sources before I'm able to make art out of it. And it's so interesting because places I've not been to, but I have so much history or knowledge about them because of this project. It's a learning curve, and people ask questions. So if you look at the grade, Teshi has a wooden plane. People keep asking, why is there a plane in Teshi? It is not a plane. It is a coffin. The aeroplane coffin. The person that started that trend built the wooden coffin as an aeroplane for his grandma, who always wanted to fly but never could.
I never knew the history.
So when she died, he put her in a wooden coffin, and that's what started, his business as making coffins that really has something to say about people's lives and how they've lived and things like that. And I recently found I have currently an exhibition running in Ashesi University. There's a Center for African Popular Culture. My work, Stories from Accra, is showing there till April 6th. So anybody who's listening that wants to go and check it out,
be part of it. Yeah, definitely.
Please go. But as part of it, so I was also talking to Professor Frimpong, who is the head of the center there. He's a wonderful artist himself, and he was telling me some pieces of history, and they're telling me, so in Brekusu, Okonfa-Notche's, I think, one of his priests, or is it? He has his footsteps are in the chief's house. Like it's imprinted.
Yeah, it's imprinted, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I just found that out. It's imprinted over there. So that's like very interesting piece of culture, because if you ask me anything about Okonfa-Notche, I would have relegated you to Kumasi.
Yes.
And that would be the end of it.
Some of the things a lot of people don't know about.
Exactly. Right. So this is also unearthing new information for Ghanaians who might even be very well versed in culture. So this is learning. It's exciting. It's interesting. It's really, growing ownership of our own culture. Yes. And I'm very excited about it.
Preserving the culture is very, very important, and getting to know more. I can tell you're very passionate about this. You're very passionate about culture. I can tell from, and it fits that you've got into that space to help educate as well, and get people to connect with your culture. Yeah. But of course, in your own opinion, though, what part of the Ghanaian culture or everyday life deserves to be documented or preserved, in your own opinion?
Every part of it.
Every part of it,
because
from old to new.
If you don't document everything, you never know who needs at what time to do what. You understand? So if in 2030, or no, let's say 2090 or something very far away, people start to walk sideways or start to exhibit behavior that's not, conventional. Exactly.
We can refer.
You can look at, throughout the time, it's been documented that we're working. So at what point was the turning point? This is, even in every part of, even in scientific research work, the second bit is to look at what existing literature. You have to look at what came before to be able to create or predict the future. So documenting every part of us is very important.
No matter how bad or good it is.
In so many forms, in different forms. It's very important.
Right. All right. So folks, we're still talking to, Aku and Esther right here. They are women who are doing magnificent in their space and all of that. Esther told you the reason why you should be part, especially the females, because the men, we know we are there. A lot of us are there, It has now become like a competition right now. So I know some men are pissed off, but, it has to be done, because as you said earlier that, women are able to contribute in the space, and they balance, the space and whatever is there, so that things move properly. Because if it's dominated by men, it's like as if it's just one, like one way. And with the women being part of it, it helps to balance the situation. So that's a very good piece. So women need to be part of the, if you're trying to be part of, the Marine, then you can visit their social, right? It's the See Women Hub, which is on all social platforms. Is See Women Hub. Just pick up your phone and go through it and follow them and get all the information that you would need. So now let's speak to our young ladies, right? Once again. So what would you say to the young Ghanaian girls who are interested in the engineering, right? And for some reason, whatever reason it is, they're like, I just want to get in there because, I like the way they look. I like the uniform, because the uniform is beautiful. I don't lie. The uniform, even guys that wants to get the uniform. What can you tell them when coming in, the mindset they need to come in as marine engineers?
Okay. I would like to say that, first of all, it's the maritime industry, and there are various courses in which marine engineering is part. There is nautical science, there is electrical engineering, yes. And so you might want to pursue maritime education for whatever reason.
Right.
I, for one, I enrolled in Regional Maritime University to pursue marine engineering because, as I said earlier, I wanted to be an engineer. That was it. That
was the point.
Yes. I just wanted to be an engineer. I didn't have much knowledge about the maritime industry itself. And the seagoing careers, I didn't know nothing about it till I stepped foot in the school. I just wanted to be an engineer and then find myself in a factory on land and whatnot. But in the course of my program, I started learning more about the seagoing careers. I started attending conferences, which was of course organized, and my school was invited. The girls in my school were invited to attend. So I got to learn more about the industry. I got to understand what really went on or what was happening in the industry. So my mindset again started changing from just coming back to work on land to, okay, I can actually do this.
Go and see.
Yes. So maritime education or maritime career is a very professional one, highly professional. You are working on a ship, you are somewhere in the middle of the ocean, very far away from land. You can't sight any land anywhere. And so we practice safety to like the highest mark. And so as you are going on board, you need to have some form of discipline. And so when you enroll at the Regional Maritime University, you are going to go through a paramilitary training. So you have to have it at the back of your mind that you are going to go through some form of training. You are going to behave like a non-citizen, let me say, because we need...
A non-citizen?
I mean a non-civilian.
Non-civilian,
yeah,
all right, okay.
Pardon my word. A non-civilian, because we need you to uphold a certain form of discipline. Depending on the type of ship you are going to work on, if you are going to be on a cargo ship, people's goods, people's millions are going to be entrusted in your hands, and so you need to have certain form of discipline. You need to take your work serious. You need to display positive attitude towards work. You are not late to work. You are fast. You perform your work diligently. You are going to go through all that training when you enroll at the Regional Maritime University for that.
Okay.
And so this is what you are going to go through. The courses are not easy courses, but they are. I tell you now, I mean, you can excel, but
if only you have the interest to do it.
And if only you want to excel, the interest should be there first of all. Yes, you have to have the passion. You have to have the interest to want to do this. They are not easy courses. They are very specialized courses. You are doing something like nautical science. It's unheard of. I mean, in our Ghanaian setting, and so you have to have the mindset of a winner. You have to have a very resilient mindset.
Yes.
I'm using resilient throughout.
Because it's very important. Yes, very important. Yeah.
So it's not an easy course. It's not an easy industry, but it's very worth it. It's a rewarding one. You get to travel across the globe. You get to have certain form of exposure. You get to,
But that should be the secondary, right?
Yes.
Should be the secondary, yes. So please, let it be the secondary. The most important thing is the passion for being a marine engineer.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, I want you to tell us your unforgettable moments, if there's any that you can remember on sea. There's a lot, yeah?
There's this one.
Okay.
So I work on a cruise ship, right? We carry people. My ship carries about 3,000 guests. The crew is about 1,000, so roughly 4,000, 5,000 people. It's a hotel on the sea, casinos, pools,
a lot of
strip
things.
clubs, everything. So people come for vacation. We take them to various destinations from one place to another. You wake up, you're in a different city, a different country. Now they have certain rules on the ship. For a guest, if the ship is leaving the port at 5 p.m., you, the crew, you are supposed to be on the ship at 4 p.m. The guest is supposed to be on the ship at 4:30. Then the ship departs at 5. And there is a guest first policy. So whether you are going in the guest area and the guest wants something and you also want the same thing, you let the guest have their way and all that. One time I went out in Marseille in France. I went to get perfume because I was about to sign off and come home, so I needed to shop for my loved ones. I went out and I had afro on. I had taken my hair out a few days prior. I had afro on. My intention was to explore the city and get some few stuff. I got into the city and I saw African women asking me, do I want to braid and all that, and I was like, why not? I mean, it's a hassle for me to book an appointment somewhere to do my hair and all that. So if I should chance on this, let me just take advantage of it. So we went to sit in front of a mall somewhere, and then I got my hair braided. I kept watching the time because I was behind time.
Discipline.
Yes. So there was a shuttle bus that was commuting between the ship and then the town. So when I finished my hair appointment in front of a mall, I had to rush back to the shuttle bus. It was around 3:20, and I had to be on the ship at 4. And I got to the ship like 3:50 something.
A little bit.
Yes. When we got to the cruise terminal, there were so many guests because they were also coming on the ship. And here is the case, there's a guest first policy. Like, you have 30 minutes more than I do. Like, let me pass. So this was a moment where there was fear, there was panic, there was anxiety because I needed to get on the ship before the time allocated for the crew. But God being so good, I got to the ship before the time, and this is something I wouldn't do. I wouldn't cut close any day, anytime, because I don't want to have any issues with my
because like you said, discipline is very, very important. Very, very important. Something that is key into that. Now, my producer just said we are running out of time. I noticed the time is fast. We're having a very good conversation right now, but let me end it with a cool right here. Finally, what advice would you give to young girls in the creative space, talking about building, their building design and storytelling when it comes to all of that?
I would like to give the advice. Okay, I would answer your question, but also can I also talk to older women?
Of course. Please.
So for the younger people, like, keep pushing. The Ghana's art scene is so young and it's so new. Keep pushing, but then also that's why I wanted to talk to the older people in this.
Okay.
Yes. There's so many cool women who have done things in the art space that is not talked about. Like, for younger people, they need to see success stories. They need to see people winning with this. They need to see all the things. Yaya said something in the beginning that exposure is really necessary. You cannot aspire to what you don't know exists. If you don't know that this career exists as this,
someone is excelling at
it. Like, it's possible to do it. And that's the information that you highlighted, for our parents. They don't know that this is an obvious career path, or it leads to good things for you, which is really what most parents want. That's why they keep steering children, don't go this, don't do this, learn law, be a lawyer or be a doctor. It's just that we need the older people that have done exciting things. Currently it's just like a 1%, and all of them are very inaccessible, exclusive type kind of things. But I feel like we need to, as a country, highlight a lot more of these things, and also women doing it, so that it's very attainable to the people, because there's a lot of advice that we want to give younger people, but it all hangs in the air if we do not have somewhere to land it. People need to see other people who have won at this, other people who have done amazing, what kind of careers can come through, because my original skill is a copywriter. I write adverts for a living. Not 10 or so years ago, not a lot of people knew. Even now, a lot of people might not know that, that's an actual thing to be proud of, because my role may evolve, but I will always be a copywriter. I'm very proud of it. I am very good at it. I really love it. And so a lot of people need to talk about, a lot of the older generations, even if it didn't end up becoming their, overall career, they need to talk about with their time as artists or things that they've done. To be able to show the possibilities.
Should be documented.
Yes,
of course. And you are all examples for the young ones, as in, like you said, there needs to be an example, and you are all one of them. And we appreciate you on today's, show right here. We are celebrating International Women's Month, of course. And we are run out of time, of course. So my last word before you leave, in very, very few seconds, word. Let me start with Esther. Your last words to the young ladies.
So to any young lady listening, to any father who has a daughter, to any brother who has a sister, I want you to not limit their dreams. let them dream far and wide.
Right.
There are various opportunities, especially within the maritime industry.
Okay.
It's evolving, and we need more women. And so look into it and enroll your female wards into the maritime industry. That's all I would say.
Enroll your female wards. Very, very important. Thank you very much, Esther. Aku, your last words?
I think, I've already done, the advice to young people. So I think this is just, I'm just really grateful to my parents for allowing me to, do what I want. They never really, did that. So I am grateful to that. And also for everybody that has believed in me, everybody that has been, shaped me in some form along this journey, all my former bosses, my mentors, things like that. People that continually purchase from my store, engage with my art. They are people that, help my process and let me know what is cool, what is not, what people expect, and all of that. They form part of my community. So I'm just really grateful to everybody. So that's it.
All right, before you leave, your handles. Because some ladies are listening and they want to follow. I know we have the Sea Women Hub. Is there any other handle you want them to follow?
Yep. Yeah, so my Instagram handle is _.yaira, YAYERA.
All right.
My TikTok is Yaira, just Yaira. I share most of my onboard journey on TikTok.
Right. And
on LinkedIn is Esther Yaira Avoklia.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And Aku, your socials.
So I think the social that matter is my Instagram is shopwolo.com. That's at shopwolo. That's at SHOPWOLLO. Wolo is spelled WOLLO.
Exactly.
So Shopwolo is the one to follow. Once they do, that's the only one.
So ladies, follow, and of course you can ask any other question that I didn't ask, which is very important to you. You can link up with them, and they'll be happy to to help you out and inspire you as well. Ladies, thank you very much for coming to inspire our young ones. We appreciate you, and today we celebrate you and the women who came before you as well, and the next generation that are coming. We give thanks to everyone listening to us right now. We do appreciate folks. We've run out of time. We have less than 3 minutes to say goodbye. Of course, for all those who sent in their corporate shouts, my apologies, I couldn't play them because the conversation was very interesting, and we just had to get into the minds of these beautiful, strong ladies here in the house. But before I leave, hunger kicks in at any time, so make no stress. Pizza Hut, Get Time, they have what they call the crafted flats. You definitely see your cheese and pepperoni in there if you love them. Just one bite, and of course you go feel the flex. 5 flavors, plenty for you to choose from, so you can just pick your vibe. It goes in for just 70 Ghana cedis only, so look sharp. Add fries to it. You can add cold Coke to it. Combo available. Crafted flats from Pizza Hut. Grab a quick munch now. And remember, Pizza Hut, feed good time. Folks, it's been great having you here. Lock into the show. Be back once again on a Tuesday right here on the Big Y 107.9. My name has been and will always remain AJ. Call me AJ the Hottest. I kept the capital alive as always, and I'll do the same tomorrow. Big shouts going out to my producer, Reggie Reg, and the technician on duty. Also, not to forget our cameraman on socials. Bless up to you guys, man, for making things happen. And to my guests who came through, do appreciate it. There's a lot that I've learned today. And thank you for being an inspiration to the next generation coming up. And of course, so ladies, follow them on their socials, all right? And be inspired. So that's how we end it right on the Big Y 107.9 FM. Coming up next is the Word in 2 minutes with BBC. After that, the drive of your life with my girl Princess AJ, and who do we have today? DJ Sly King. Yes, DJ Sly King as always coming through, and they will take you from 3 all the way till 7. Folks, have a good one. Like I always say, see you when I see you. Of course, stay blessed.
comedy thriller One Battle After Another won 6 awards, including Best Picture. K-pop Demon Hunters was the Best Animated Feature and took the prize for Best Original Song. BBC News.
The world in 2 minutes at 13:30 GMT.
YFM 107.9.
No masterpiece. 10 bad till they after me.
YFM.
Wind up your body and spin it.
YFM.
Wind up your body and spin it. Me say that junior eat. He slap whip on every street. Them I can't check, I did the OT walk. Came a long way from them OT shots. Non-stop party hits.
You are locked on to YFM
107.9.
We up, only one on rotation, that's the blunt. We get high, have some fun. See my vision was the joint, break me free. On some trees till we can't feel our knees. All this keys, all this weed, we get high, and then we go.
I drop a banana chromate. Missy Minya the crown, I want to my say. The crown, I'm a few. I don't watch you. So what the mommy and I'm a chroma, Tommy, yeah.
YFM.
Them just want to see you good, never better.
YFM.
Yeah, man, have fun, free rides with you. Wow, that's it. Wow, that's it.
YFM.
YFM 107.9. YFM 107.9.
No masterpiece. 10 bad till they after me.
YFM.
Wind up your body and spin it.
YFM.
Wind up your body and spin it. Me say that junior eat. He slap whip on every street. Them I can't check, I did the OT walk. Came a long way from them OT shots. Non-stop party hits.
You are locked on to YFM
107.9.
We up, only one on rotation, that's the blunt. We get high, have some fun. See my vision was the joint, break me free. On some trees till we can't feel our knees. All this keys, all this weed, we get high, and then we go.
I drop a banana chromate. Missy Minya the crown, I want to my say. The crown, I'm a few. I don't watch you. So what the mommy and I'm a chroma, Tommy, yeah.
YFM.
Them just want to see you good, never better.
YFM.
Yeah, man, have fun, free rides with you. Wow, that's it. Wow, that's it.
YFM.
I said the star nice, so, hey. He be jobless, so, hey. She said the boy fresh, so, hey. Drip, splash, hey.
Nobody does it like this. Y107.9 FM.
Come on, y'all ready?
You're tuned in to the drive of your life on YFM.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I know. It's hard to keep up, but we